welcome to the Next Guy Up podcast. We have an awesome show for you today. We are so glad you are here to join us. Football is back. We have a official game on. We're recording this Thursday night, and we have a game on the television, which means football is official here. We have football is in the air.
We can taste it. It's
feel
here.
it, taste it. We have college football is. We got practices starting up. NFL is gearing up for some preseason games starting really soon. We are excited. How do we feel, boys?
The audience will know if I want to bet or not because the Browns and the Jets are playing right now.
Wow.
And I took the Browns money line because betting preseason football, why not? Just go for it.
We're seeing into the future.
It's preseason for gamblers too. We gotta get our reps in, so that's what
right.
preseason football is for.
You're correct. Just like fantasy football as well. You gotta get some reps in, get ready for fantasy football. I've already done a mock draft today, so I'm ready.
I'm drafting a 3 overall in our league. I feel pretty good about that number. I feel like 3 spots pretty hot.
It's the nice spot. I like drafting 3 as well.
You never want to go first because I feel like those first 3 or 4 players could all be interchangeable, and then you're all the way in the back half because don't get lost in the snake. But you have to wait around for a while. I've drafted first before, and you feel like you're waiting 20 minutes to draft again. Not fun.
That does suck. You see all the best players just falling off the board. So in the spirit of the NFL season kicking off, we have a little topic we're going to discover first of all here. Mike Vrabel in a press conference this week says that he thinks it would take 35 5-year-olds to tackle Derrick Henry. 35 5-year-olds. Personally, I think this should be a game. This should be something that's added in to the preseason. Like start off the game with minor league games, how they do little fun competitions. Like during halftime, let's get some 5-year-olds out there. Let's let Derrick Henry cook, see what he can do. Just keep adding one at a time until they finally stop him. You know? Can you imagine those 5-year-olds if he just freezed up and they would just be like devastated?
He has to run from one touchdown line to the other, and he just keeps doing it. He gets like $1,000 every time he does it, and they keep adding a kid every like 30 seconds. It would be like a game show type of thing at that point. But he would be winning money. The running backs are all upset that they're not getting money. Here's your opportunity to get money.
$1,000 a lap. That's what Mason wants to give him.
I mean, I'll take $1,000 a lap.
Yeah, you would. You'd have a multi-million-dollar salary coming in. So what do we think? 35? Is that a good number? Is that fair?
As someone with a 5-year-old, I think the number's higher. They
have like infinite energy.
But Derrick Henry is
they'll just keep getting back up.
But he's 6'4", 240. He's a literal like freight train. He could probably like run over Mason's car. For those of you who don't know, Mason drives a Chevy Spark, but like
it's the 5-year-old of cars.
Yeah, he could run through it.
So here's the thing. If it's just we're getting 35 random kids out there, there's going to be some playing in the grass. Some of them got in a fight. If we're talking 35 that have the goal and they know what the objective is.
They're trained.
Killers. I could see it happening. And it also depends on what we're doing. We just talked about this a minute ago, but if you got Derrick Henry on the opposite 1-yard line going to score a touchdown, he's got to go 99 yards.
Yeah.
What kind of defensive play are they drawing up? Like if you're a defensive coach and you got 35 5-year-olds out there, you're like, all right, how should we play this? Should we have all of them in the back? Should we have them all up front? Should we space it out? You got like 10 all the way back. What are we doing here?
What if it was like you had Derrick Henry in like a long hallway and you had 35 5-year-olds? So they weren't like chasing him. They didn't have to chase him down and run because he's going to outrun all of them.
He's running through them.
Yeah, what if he had to actually run through them?
You're taking a lot of kids to the hospital.
I mean, sure. We're sacrificing some kids here for the experiment, but it's all in the name of science. So we think 10 thinks a little higher. I think if he's putting everything into it and he's geared up, I think 35 is too low.
If it's a hallway thing,
puts his shoulder down, it's blouses. There's no way.
Yeah, if it's a hallway thing, I say like 20.
I think it could happen.
Yeah,
you need one special kid who's like really going after the feet.
That's what I'm saying.
Or hanging onto the helmet or something. I think you could do it.
Or as he's running these kids over, he just trips over one of them. Like that's
that's a lot of kids.
Exactly.
Okay, so this begs the question then. What if all three of us are in this scenario? Tens high school running back phenom.
I was
freshman
that.
year.
Yes, sir.
How many yards, Tens? How many yards?
Like 1,100 yards.
Varsity.
Freshman team.
Varsity.
Started on the freshman team.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Varsity freshman year. He quit because he was too good. Everyone was like, "Dang, Tens." No, Tens was a prolific high school running back. Tens. How many 5-year-olds? How many 5-year-olds does it take to tackle you?
In my prime.
In his prime.
Freshman year, I'd give myself 10. I'd say it takes 10 of them. Yeah.
I think it's more than that.
I don't know. I was more of a speed guy. I wasn't Derrick Henry. I wasn't going to run. I didn't run people over. I was just fast. Couldn't catch.
10 only.
That's why I wasn't allowed to play running back after my freshman year.
His hands.
Our head coach came over. He said, "Tinsley, brother, running backs around here got to catch, and you can't do it. So you're going to play safety."
How'd you like safety?
I liked safety. It was pretty fun. And then I just liked playing basketball, so I just quit, and we all played church league basketball.
We did do that. Yeah. We peaked out.
We peaked. That was our peak right there.
Mason, how about you? How many?
So, I think it's given the situation. If we're in like an open field and you're just trying to avoid them and you're running around, or if we have like the hallway situation,
you have to run through them. Like you can't just outrun them.
Oh, literally, probably like 3.
Because if it's 100 yards, like 2. You can just avoid them.
I have no confidence in this. I will trip over one of them, or they'll just wrap around my legs.
You could do like the Madden thing where you like are the quarterback and you run all the way back to the end zone and you run in circles and then get them all like out of sorts and then you just take off down the sideline.
That was the best thing to do. Have Michael Vick and just he had a 99 speed and you just ran around. You also changed all the sliders on the settings to where you were really good and the computers were really bad. Those were the days.
It's true. I think 10 is a decent number. I think I'm not fast. I'm not very coordinated either. I would have to just muscle. I would have to muscle through them. We use my body weight to my advantage.
But you're built like a fullback, so I mean you could do it.
Maybe, but I could also just trip over the first one that cuts, and then I'm done. So to just take one potentially.
I think I did the smart thing here because I set the bar so low. If I exceed, then I look, wow, he got through 4 or 5 of them. Where if you guys set the bar high and then you don't reach it, it's like, are you kidding me? You couldn't get past
5-year-olds. That's not that high.
No, come on.
35. I mean, it'd be fun. Let's test it one day. You know any 5-year-olds?
I've seen you get tackled by air.
Friends? Let's get them.
Yeah, I'll get her whole kindergarten class, and we'll
line them up.
we'll head up to Nashville.
That's a great idea.
I'm sure there's no lawsuits.
It should be fine. What's the worst?
Nothing could go wrong.
All right, we have an awesome show for you today. We have a Would You Rather coming up that I think is gonna get pretty crazy. Mason's gonna lead us through that one. We have some trivia coming up. Some Guess That Stat, and we're ending up with some Future Fridays. We're gonna keep doing some Future Fridays, giving you some fire picks until the season kind of starts and we have some real life football to talk about. So here's where we are. Mason.
So guys, I'm so pumped about this Would You Rather. We are all diehard fans here, and if you're listening to the podcast because it's our sports segment, more than likely you are a diehard fan of a team. So you can play along with this. Would I do this certain situation or get into this type of scenario for my team? You pick one team for all of these to win a championship. So I'm going to give out some certain scenarios. We could all probably guess Tinsley's team is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then Zach's team. Zach, do you want to go with the Titans or do you want to go with UT Vols?
I think I could play either of them. I think the one that I'm more likely to risk it all for is the Vols at this point. I've grown up. I went to UT. I went to all the games. Growing up, I was always a big UT guy. And we've sucked for most of my adult and most of my life, actually. We've not been very good. I went to UT in a particularly down stretch for UT football, and so I think to see them rise from the ashes and win a championship, I'd lay a lot on the line. I'll be honest with you.
Yep, you've had some tough breaks, Zach.
I was in school through the Butch Jones era, so brick by brick, baby. Yeah. I'll be able to tell my kids that I went to UT during the worst period in UT football history. So shout out to me.
So what I love about what we're about to do here is we're gonna
Mason, who are you?
I'm gonna go with the Titans, okay, Tennessee Titans. Yep. So what we're gonna do, because I'll answer these as well, and we're gonna open this up to social media in the next couple of days because I would like to hear some would you rather's of other situations, but also we could answer some of these questions for the fans so that they can play along. But I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off. So I got 4 or 5 of these here, and they're going to be, some of them are lengthy because I want them to explain their reasoning. The first one right off the bat, first of all, Tens and Zach have not seen none of these, so they're all going to be shocked. But first off the bat,
I'm ready to be shocked.
Tens, the last episode, we talked about how much you hate sour cream.
Uh-huh.
And here in Cookeville, the county fair is going on this week. So my question is, would you sit in a dunk tank full of sour cream for 3 hours, 5 nights in a row at your local county fair in order for your team to win a Super Bowl at the end of the season?
A dunk tank full of sour cream.
That's something. So here's the thing. After one time of going in, like how much more sour cream can you get on you? It's like the theory of like once you're wet, how much wetter can you get?
You're saturated in sour cream.
Yeah.
But then it's also the humility thing of you're sitting there as kids, 10-year-olds or high school kids, just constantly dunk you in sour cream at your county fair. You probably know people there too.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you know this about the city we live in, but we don't have baseball stars just running around. I like my chances of not getting dunked 100+ times. And you can try to embarrass me all you want, but if I have a Super Bowl, if the Jacksonville Jaguars have a Super Bowl, I worry about what I will become with just a Super Bowl. Because I'm pretty insufferable, and we won 9 games last year.
True.
So I could only imagine with the Super Bowl, I might become the worst there ever was.
I did want to make a rule here for all of these scenarios because we have kind of played this already. Not these questions. All these are new except for I think one. You are not allowed to bet your team because you know that they're going to win. So that prevents the whole, I'm going to be a millionaire because I'm going to do this one thing and then I'm going to bet my life savings.
Like mortgage your house and put it all on the championship.
So we are going to make a couple rules. No betting, things like that.
It's strictly for the pride of your team.
Exactly.
Like strictly for bragging rights for yourself.
And like, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. So that's all I want is that feeling. I just want one.
That was specifically for Tins with the sour cream. Zach, is there any like nasty like baked beans or anything that would be like just like, are you kidding me? That's
what are ricochet shots of baked beans? First of all, what did baked beans ever do to you?
I don't want to get in a vat of baked beans for sure.
Baked beans are fine. It's just that would be a weird thing to get dunked in.
Mayonnaise. I am not a mayonnaise guy.
Yeah,
like a whole thing full of mayonnaise would be.
But once again, if you're dunked in it, then how many times does it get worse? It doesn't really because you're already completely submerged.
I feel like mayonnaise got that consistency. You'd like slurp into it every time you know, like it would be like it's not even a liquid really. It's like it's almost like Jello. Like it's got that really viscous consistency.
You would get dunked. You would hit the top of it and slowly like sink in, and then you'd have to have someone pull you out of it
every time. With that being said, yes, I would 100% do it though. I mean, that's awesome. momentary loss and humiliation for a lifetime of pride. There'd be something in me that like knows that I caused it to happen too. I would feel like I was part of the team, you know. Like,
yep, it's true.
Guys, I put my body on the line for this win.
You get a ring. You get a ring.
I would 100% request a ring. Now, I don't know if everyone else would know that I put my body on the line and I caused it or not. That's a good question. Like, does the team know, like, man, that kid, he did it for us.
He did.
Well, that was going to be my question is, does it, I'm using the wrong word, but does it deteriorate what would be the word? What is it as
glory?
Significant?
Yeah.
Is it as significant as actually winning because your team didn't truly win because you had to do something?
Oh, they won. The team won.
Well,
Tom Brady deflated footballs and they won, and he still got rings. He saw his glory. So nope,
it's true. Well,
nothing is taken
live
down.
forever. You can't take that away.
Flags fly forever, baby.
You can't take that ring away.
Zach, you were talking about humility and being humiliated.
Yes.
My next one is: Has any of you seen Big Fat Liar?
Oh yeah.
With
yes.
Frankie Muniz.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, my next question is: your skin is blue, your whole body. You're basically part of the Blue Man Group for the whole NFL season. You have to go to work. You have to just live your life being blue. But your team wins a championship at the end of the season.
Can I tell people that's why I'm doing it?
What do we think? What's the
what am I going to tell people whenever I show up with blue skin? Like, it's just like a fashion thing?
Frankie Muniz.
I accidentally dyed my skin. I'm joining the Blue Man Group.
You could just say that it was
I could say that.
Yeah, there you go. You have to come up with something.
I'm auditioning for the Blue Man Group, and I'm trying to I'm trying to method act and just stay in it all the time, so I'm ready when my audition comes.
There you go.
In that case, 100%, I'm doing it.
Skin blue.
Blast. It's over. Would
the wives and family be up for you being blue?
Oh, now this is a different story.
So are you saying anything on the forefront, or are you just accepting being blue and then showing up to the house?
Okay, that one's tougher. I didn't think about that part of the experiment. I
think football season
pictures the whole year.
It's Christmas. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's true. The whole shebang.
It's all the holidays. Wives want to take pictures and post them on the gram.
Man, I mean, your friends would think it was cool, and your friends would be like, "Would you get like?" Your friends would think it was cool, but everyone else would be like,
This guy's a freak.
You look like an idiot." Yeah.
You can't go to Walmart without getting everybody staring at you. I'm going to say no for this one.
I think I'm going to say no as well. Yeah. As much as that pains me, I think
so you change your mind just a flip of the switch. Yeah.
So yeah, if I could just, instead of blue, since the Jaguars colors are teal, could I be teal?
Denied.
If your skin was teal.
All right, well I'll take blue. It's fine.
Okay.
He sacrificed
I don't
his
care.
body.
I don't care. You can do whatever in my body. There's probably not many of these I'm not going to say yes to. Just be honest.
Well, we'll see, because we got a couple good ones in here.
We've played this game on every road trip and different questions, but you guys have cooked up some wild things.
Wild ones.
Like, yep, sure we'll do it.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and skip to the one that he has said no to.
Oh, no.
And this one we have discussed, I will say, but he just got done saying there's not a whole lot. This one's where he drew the line. Would you live in the state of Tennessee? And people, we got listeners all over the world. So whatever state you're in, whatever state, you have to stay in that state. So it doesn't have to just be Tennessee. If you live somewhere else, whatever state you're in, for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you cross the state line, you spontaneously self-combust. But your team wins 5 championships randomly during your lifetime.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
That one was tough. I wrestled with this one for a while.
5 championships just randomly.
5 randomly.
Because you're never going to know. We're going to win eventually regardless, but that's not true. Look at some Chicago Cubs fans or like Buffalo Bills fans, like people who went decades without championships. Like there's a reality where Tennessee Vols go the rest of my life without winning a championship pretty easily. Now to guarantee 5.
You can make your life pretty entertaining in just the state of Tennessee. You're never going to see the beach again.
No beaches, no. Never get to see like Europe or.
Yep.
Who cares about Europe?
Tens is from Florida. He's a big beach guy.
He is. He did say it. Now it looks like he's almost changing his mind here because he was like a hard no at the time.
Well, the question is can I move and then start this? Because I love you boys, but I'm moving to Florida if this is like the case.
What do we think, Tens or Zach? What do you think we should get on the rolls here? Okay, let's do it. Let's play this. Tennessee, answer the question. Tennessee, yes or no?
Tennessee, no.
So you would move you, Morgan, and
the kids.
Like the kids. Yep, they would move and you would stay there and never we'd have to come visit you. You could not come to us. And you would be okay with that?
Yep.
All right.
Sure would. If we're
we'll be on the pod. You'll see us every
I don't know.
Once a week.
It's a no for me. I think
you got to do the Randy Jackson.
It's a no for me, dog. I just think that
I still think it's a
getting
no
to have
for me
like
too,
a real
but...
like vacation ever again. And then I think the thing that would kill me is the stuff hovering over my head that like I never will get to see in my life. Like I will never get to see the Grand Canyon. I will never get to like see the West Coast. And I will never like things that I would be like, well, I guess I'm just not seeing that ever. But the Vols are going to win 5 championships.
5 championships.
Well,
I don't know.
I also put on here
like a life. Like the thing with mayonnaise is like you have 1 week of like kind of being miserable and then it's over. This one's your whole life. It's like you're talking about 60 years worth of punishment.
All right, I'll up the ante because I also had that on here. 10 championships.
The thing that would make me change it is to change the time frame. Like if you did 5 championships within 25 years, then I'd probably be like, yeah, let's do it.
Zach accepts the 5, and it's just why he's like 60 through 65.
I would take it. I'd be a legend.
That would be a good retirement time. You're at home all the time, and you're just
watching the Vols play. Probably like I don't know, whatever the conferences look like at that point in time, whatever mess, who knows?
Yeah, with the way it's heading, it's gonna be a mess.
Well, we'll keep it moving here because I still got a couple left. We've talked about how much we love to eat here on the pod.
Love eating.
And particularly Taco Bell and Cookout and fast food.
That's Tens drinking Baja Blast.
Yeah, he's sponsored by. Oh, that reminds me. Our segment for the Would You Rather is brought to you by Baja Blast.
Shout out.
But specifically, we like to eat meat around here. So my question is, would you give up eating meat during the football season let's change it to a whole year. So for a calendar year from January to December, would you give up eating meat for a whole year in order to get a championship?
Yes.
Yep.
There's lots of alternatives to meat. I mean, you can get protein in lots of ways. There's so much ways you can get protein these days. I would sacrifice. There's a lot of alternatives to meat you can have. Things that taste, close-ish. I'm in.
Well,
done.
We swept the board on this one because I could just eat pizza and pasta and all things, French fries and all things bad for you. My cholesterol will probably be through the roof, and I will probably be very out of shape. But I would just sacrifice not eating meat for just really bad foods. Instead of me eating healthy, I would just end up going the opposite and just eating all the carbs.
You gain a lot of weight, but it's worth it. You can lose that weight. What if the only thing you could drink for an entire year was Baja Blast?
Oh, you would
whole year. That's the only you can't drink.
No water?
No milk. Only Baja Blast.
Nope. I need water. That's the first thing I drink when I get up in the morning, and the last thing I drink.
Sacrifice
when I go to
for your
bed.
team, Mason.
Your teeth are gonna rot out because you're.
You're also probably just gonna die.
How much? How much is in a Baja Blast?
Let's see.
How much sugar?
Yeah,
conveniently, I have a 12.9 fluid ounces Baja Blast bottle right here. I see
230 calories on the back.
230 calories, 80 milligrams of sodium, 62 grams of sugar, also includes another 62 grams of added sugars.
That's like your whole day's sugar right there, one bottle.
This bottle is 124% of your sugar recommended daily intake.
You could drink 4 of them and be like 500% of your daily sugar. That's great.
For the listeners at home, I blinked really hard at him really fast. I was very confused. It's a throwback. The OGs will know.
OGs. I got another one here. This one is wild. All right. Would you be on the run from law enforcement for a crime that you did not commit? Mm-hmm. And if you did not get caught, we're going to give it 30 days. Think about how long that is of being on the run. If you did not get caught, and do you think you could be on the run from any type of police, FBI, for a crime you didn't commit? You got a Super Bowl, and your record's clean, and you did not get, convicted of whatever crime is said. Now, if you did get caught, then you have to go to jail for 6 months.
But you said we didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but if you got caught, you go to jail for 6 months.
Oh, 6 months is chump change.
Yeah.
So you're risking, first of all, do you think that you could be on the run, hiding out somewhere and not get caught from, because this is like a 2-parter. Do you think you could actually like go and then you get a championship, but there's a risk involved?
It's only 30 days.
30 days.
Yep.
I can do anything for 30 days.
Everything. It's a clean slate afterwards if you don't get caught. If you do get caught, you got 6 months on your record and you have to go to jail.
I think I'm usually pretty risk averse guy, but I think I'm taking that one.
I think that was
days. I think all you gotta do is get one hiding spot that's like super solid, and you just vibe. You just chill.
You're kind of probably away from your family if I had to take.
You gotta get out. I mean, you have to just get away from cameras. You gotta get away from. You gotta get out in the woods. We have lots of camping experience. You know, I could survive out there.
It'd be hard for me to risk that, but I think
6 months in jail.
I'm getting straight to Mexico, baby.
That is a lot. 6 months of your life is a lot.
I also don't know how we would do jail. I feel like jail would be pretty tough. But that was a outside the box one I was trying to come up with.
I think I would do it. Let's do it.
I'm going to say no.
I'd risk it for the biscuit. One time for the fun time.
2 out of 3.
Go Vols.
All right. Here is our last and final one. And I saved this one just because this one makes me laugh. Because I just imagine me sitting next to you guys watching football and this happening. You would have to wear a dog shock collar during the games, and every time your quarterback threw an interception, you got shocked. But at the very end, your team won a championship. It is on like a level 2. It's not like a death shock or anything. It's literally like on a chill, like you jump, you're like, oh, that kind of hurt, but then you're fine.
That's the easiest one. Yes.
You have to put trust in Joe Milton, Zach.
He has thrown 0 interceptions in his UT career.
And
Tinsley has to put faith into his T-Law.
Say his name.
Trevor Lawrence.
Thank you.
I only have 12 games to survive, really. I mean, I guess if you have SC championship, so I have 14 games, 15 games total.
Yeah.
Tens would have
a little bit more.
19 games.
20. Trevor threw 8 last year, but he did throw 4 in the playoff game, so that would have been a rough day for me.
Listen, I'm already emotionally just devastated after interception. You might as well add some physical devastation. You know, I'm already feeling it. I'm already down. Probably already hitting something or throwing something. You might as well just throw some shock in.
Might level me out a little bit.
So, Zach, let's even the playing field a little bit. Yours is on like a level 4 out of 5 shock-wise. So yours is pretty tough.
It's like death?
No, it's not
like
death.
Tased?
I don't know. I've never wore a dog shock collar, but I would imagine 5 being pretty like intense on a dog. I could be wrong. These probably have standards. They're probably not like...
If it's like taser level,
yeah,
I'm expecting to get tased 4 times. 4 interceptions, 5 interceptions
total. Wow.
I wonder what Hendon only
Hooker didn't throw that many.
Yeah, I don't think Milton will either.
So I mean, if it's five tases, even if it's a tase level, which is very high throughout the season, I see my boys down there getting hit, getting beat up, putting their bodies on the line. I'll put my body on the line too. If that's what
I'll say this.
I'll do it.
I'll say this about Joe Milton. I think receivers have a hard time catching his passes because he throws the ball so daggum hard. I don't see any cornerbacks in college being able to catch that football.
He's overthrowing it too. I mean, his mistake we all know is overthrows. That's not getting intercepted. It's 10 yards past everybody.
Yeah, if I'm Zach in this situation, that's an easy yes.
Taking it.
I'm taking the natty.
Okay, here's something I just thought of, and this is
I'd live stream it for the pod. I'd live stream me getting shot.
Okay, seriously, I was about to say if we could get like a certain amount of likes on a post, would you wear a shot collar during one of the games and we live stream it?
My dog has a shot collar, no joke. I could do it.
Okay, I'm not even kidding.
I have them this is my dogs too.
All right.
Okay, I want to hear the fans like go on the social media pages and talk about how much they want this, and we'll discuss it, because then we'll actually live stream this and get this going on like a legitimate video if we get a certain amount of likes. We need some exposure here, so
I'm down.
If we get a certain amount of likes, then we'll do it during the game.
Put my body on the line.
Always. I'll lay my body on the line for the Vols every day. I'm ready.
That's how much we love our fans here. We're so devoted,
I'll do anything for the fans too.
And that concludes our Would You Rather, sponsored by Baja Blast.
Shout out.
I'm going to go ahead and transition into the Guess That Stat, Words with Mason. College football season will kick off in 22 days, people. We've already talked about football around the corner, and I'm pumped about some college football. On August 26th is week 0.
Let's go.
There are 10 Division 1 games scheduled that week, and the game with the 2 high-profile teams will be Notre Dame versus Navy in Dublin. Question number 1. Where is Dublin located? Is it A, England, B, Wales, C, Ireland, D, just 37 miles northeast of Cookeville, Tennessee?
Do you know this one, Tins?
I'm going to go with C.
Yeah, Ireland for sure.
Yeah.
I was making sure people knew that because now you know.
Look, that was something.
I'm also trying to get some easy ones in here.
Can we talk about how Notre Dame is just like
so annoying?
I want to know who ranks them as high as they do every single year, only for them just to implode. It's one of the most like infuriating things as a college football fan. Just every year, they pop back up there and they're like, "Yeah, no, this is Notre Dame's year. This is it," and then they just fall every single year. I don't know who's in charge of the polls. We need to fix something.
You're buying into the name. That's literally what it is.
Do better.
Well, they need to stop being cowards and join a conference already. I'm tired.
Look at all the people moving around. Join the Pac-12. They need numbers over there.
So, thank you, Zach. Speaking of Notre Dame, Rudy is a 1993 film based on a true story about the journey of an individual facing against the odds on and off the field to earn a spot on a team and a spot on the field.
Rudy.
Question. What famous quarterback was a backup during the 1975 season that featured Rudy's single appearance on a football field? You get no ABCD.
His name was Joe Montana.
Wow. Bingo!
Man, I think I'm 4-0 in trivia right now, or 4-1.
He's never lost. Oh yeah, that 1 week where we both missed it.
First week.
But I'm 4 straight out here.
How many Super Bowl MVPs has Joe Montana had? This doesn't count as a trivia.
2.
Zach?
2.
It's 3.
I just
Back again. All right. I just want to throw something fun in there because I always feel like it's stats. I want to change it to trivia.
That was great, man.
That was a good movie.
It was great.
Good movie.
Good movie, Rudy.
Yeah, that's a take. I don't know if it's a good movie.
Rudy.
There are some slow parts of that, and I was expecting a him to not just be spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen
Not
it.
a single explosion in the whole movie.
Not a single explosion.
Actually, that's not true.
Kind of
Wait a minute.
The factory, is there an explosion?
Yep. That's why it is a great movie. It's got an explosion in it.
You liked it.
You know the difference between Oppenheimer and Rudy? Or not the difference. They both have one single thing in common. They both had an explosion. You know which one was not 3 hours long? Rudy. I actually don't know this, but
I was saying I want to check the runtime. I think it's a pretty long movie too.
You know which one had people chanting someone's name at the end? Not Oppenheimer. He didn't get the chance.
Rudy did. While we're going over our futures, which will be just in a minute, I'm gonna look up and see, should we pick IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes and see which one got a better score?
Oh, Oppenheimer and Rudy.
Oppenheimer's pretty stacked up right now. It's kind of got some
Oppenheimer's definitely going to be higher.
Rudy's kind of a
recency bias.
You know? It is recency bias. I agree with Tins.
Never mind. I won't look it up then because I forgot. Yeah, Oppenheimer did get high scores. Not from me though. 2.3. Put it in the books.
Wow. Dropped it a point. He had time to think about it.
I did.
He compared it to Rudy, and he was like, "This is not as good as Rudy."
That's it. Knock it down a point. All right. So I wanted to bring up some college football trivia because we are talking college football in our future Friday. Are we not, Tins?
Yes, sir. I'm coming back to the college scene this week, and I've got it's a double dip bet for everybody. And so we're heading over to the Big 12, where there is nothing but an abundance of shootouts every Saturday. We are SEC fans here, but I think the Big 12 is maybe my favorite conference to watch. Just two random teams play. You could throw on Baylor versus West Virginia, and it's gonna be a fun game. So I've been diving into the Big 12, and I've got two bets. They're going to go with each other here, and it's going to be Texas Tech over 7.5 wins. That's going to be at plus 110. And then I've also sprinkled them to win the Big 12 at plus 1,200. And the big reason I have attacked this line and rolling with my Red Raiders out here is that they hit this win total last year already. They went 8-5 under first-year coach Joey McGuire, assuming that's how you say his name. If I butcher your name, Coach, sorry. You can come on the pod next week and yell at me. But if not, then you can't get on how I said your name. But this team returns 14 starters, highlighted by fifth-year senior quarterback Tyler Sowell. The Texas Tech was second in yards last year in the Big 12 and fourth in points. So they were high octane offense last year. They're returning 14 starters in total, and then when you get the quarterback back, I think that's one of the biggest things in college football is having continued success with a quarterback. So when they can come back the next year, I expect them to pick up right where they left off. I think the Big 12, it's like Texas is always the favorite, right? But they're always just so overrated. TCU won this conference last year, and they lost their quarterback, their running back, top two receivers, and essentially that whole defense. So you're talking about a team that at plus 1,200, I really like having those odds, especially with the Big 12. They don't do divisions. It's just the top two teams play each other at the end of the year for the title. So if you're holding a plus 1,200 ticket and you're really just the only other high-ranking team, the team that you would think is going to be there at the end of the year is Texas. If you're holding this ticket and you've got a plus 1,200 against Texas, those are pretty good odds. Their schedule is pretty. I mean, it's pretty tough. Their out of schedule was Oregon and then Tulsa State. So Oregon, that's they're a big time school, but that's the thing.
Campaign. Yeah,
I'm very much willing to bet against a team that's quarterbacked by Bo Nix any day of the week, and it's actually at home. So Oregon has to come to Texas Tech second week of the year. I don't see Oregon pulling that off to where they. I mean, could they win? Yeah, sure. They're probably the better program in general, but I like Texas Tech's chances of, open. That's the home opener. All these returning starters and all of that. So I am really believing in Texas Tech, second year head coach, getting this program turned around at plus 1,200 to win the conference. If you don't love that, I definitely feel like plus 110 for over 7.5 wins is pretty. I was very surprised that it was plus money. So I'm definitely liking that with all of the talent that left the Big 12 in the draft this year. Texas Tech's really one of the only teams that has a lot coming back.
Love it. I'm putting some money down right now.
You think Texas is on its way out? They're like they don't care about this Big 12 season.
Yeah,
they're looking towards the SEC next year. They sent people to SEC media days already. You have to think they're prepping for next year. They're prepping for the big move. I don't think their heart's going to be in it this year.
And I really think too, like if the quarterback, I'm blanking on his name, Ewan McGregor. No, Arch. So Arch, like I feel like if there's any sense of this team is not performing the way they're supposed to,
yeah.
Arch Manning's going to get put in probably before he even needs to, just because the boosters are going to want that to happen. And so you could see a team that's the season's not going their way, and they very quickly pull the starting quarterback. I can't remember his name, McGuire or something like that, and start Arch Manning just because he's the big name. And so that could really open the door for Texas Tech at plus 1,200. So I really like those odds. There's no one else in the Big 12 that really I feel like has the firepower to be keeping up with them offensively, because this was one of the best scoring teams in the, not even just the conference, but in the country last year.
Quinn Ewers is who you're looking for.
There it is. Ewers. I was all around it.
Close enough.
Sophomore starting quarterback.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I got a future, everybody. Money back guaranteed. Anything else for that tens? Because
no, that's it. Those are my two picks. Like I said, if you're not willing to ride with me on the plus 1,200, I definitely would take the plus 110 at 7.5.
Love it. I'm shooting out the gate. I'm shooting out the cannons. I'm ready to go on this one. I'm fired up. Of course, Bill Belichick was in the news this week because he would not answer a simple question, which is Mac Jones your quarterback? I feel like, why are we beating around the bush? Bill Belichick does stuff like that. I get it. But why are you not answering that question? You would have just avoided a whole situation of being in the news if you just answered it. So my bet is Mac Jones under 19.5 throwing touchdowns at minus 115. This is going to be a hot take to some people, but not to me. Patriots are a bad team in a good division. And with Bill Belichick, you know what? His butt is on fire because he is in the hot seat. If this season ends up being, yes, he is in the hot seat right now. I'm not even kidding, not messing around. People are going to start seeing that he is nothing without Tom Brady. I'm coming after him. Nothing without Tom Brady. Tom Brady has played well without Bill Belichick, but Bill Belichick can't do the same without him. So you know what? Overrated. Hot seat.
How many teams in the NFL would hire Bill Belichick like today?
Probably all of them.
At least three.
At least three. But could you imagine if the Patriots fired Bill Belichick? Like, what would happen?
They're not going to. I still think that
would be the craziest turn of events. He'd have to win like 4 games this season.
I think it would be one of those things where they mutually agree to leave or make him look good, or he retires but then comes out of retirement. It would be something like that. He wouldn't actually. They're so dedicated to him. A firing looks bad, so it'd be one of those like he's stepping away to spend time with his family, but then he comes back or something.
He doesn't care about his family.
He probably doesn't. He only cares about football.
Football is everything.
But I'm going to just go ahead and say it. If this season ends up being a wash, which, by the way, it is going to be, then who's to say that they're not going to bench Mac Jones for Bailey Zappi or even Malik Cunningham out of Louisville just to see if they got a prospect on their hands. Because if we all forgot already, last season, Mac Jones did get benched for Bailey Zappi. So if that's the case, Mac Jones also got injured last season for 3 games due to injury. He threw 14 touchdowns, which was 5 short of what we needed, or 6 short. Math is hard. 6 short of what we would need for this line to hit this time. You're looking at pretty good. He needs 20 throwing touchdowns. And if he gets pulled, if he gets injured, if they end up wanting to see the other guys, then you're already behind trying to catch up to 20. So I feel pretty comfortable with the under 19.5 at -115 on Caesars.
There you go.
What do you all think?
Yeah, definitely that too. He plays in a run first offense with. Yep. I mean, they're stacked at running back.
Good point.
They didn't figure out the wide receiver situation in the offseason. They went hard after DeAndre Hopkins and missed out on him. It seems like they can't draft a receiver to save their lives. So I don't love their receiver room at all. It's definitely a bunch of guys that are like no names. And like you said, but he got benched last year for Bailey Zappi. They did draft Malik Cunningham, who Belichick has been talking highly of in training camp so far. And there were a lot of rumors that they were trying to trade Mac Jones in the offseason anyway. So
yep.
I don't see where he's definitely not like attached to him where he's not going to be afraid to bench him.
I don't see how he would go 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in a game, which I could see happening, and people are already not like calling for him to get benched. So, And then also they get inside the 10-yard line and they're just going to hand it off because that's all I've ever seen the Patriots ever do. They do not do anything where the quarterback drops back to throw. Well, maybe with Tom Brady there, but I feel like they mostly just would run it because that's their style. Yeah. They have 3 running back committee going on, and they run the ball. So that takes touchdowns away from Mac Jones. So minus 19.5.
Yeah, it's definitely, and they play up north. The weather's bad. They play in Buffalo once a year. They play in New York against the Jets. So, I mean, you're talking about weather is a factor when you're thinking about some of these bets. So, I mean, minus 115 is definitely worth it to have for a future for the whole season.
Yep. And that is my future for this episode.
All right. We're going to round it out. I have a pick. And here is my future for this season. It is, speaking of Derrick Henry, we kind of teased at the beginning. Derrick Henry to rush over 100 yards in 8+ regular season games. It's at plus 140. So we're plus money hunting here with this one. Here's my case. Last season, Derrick Henry ran 9 games with 100+ yards. So we hit it last year. And looking back at the year, I will say 6 of those 9 all came against AFC South opponents. Every AFC South game we played in the regular season, Derrick Henry had 100 yards at least. So we're playing the same teams again. None of us. I mean, obviously we all root for teams AFC South here. I don't think any of us are going to say that our division is difficult to play in. Softest division in NFL, almost assuredly, or close at least. And so here we are. Yeah. I think this is a twofold bet. I think the second half of it is that maybe I'm reading into this a little bit, but here we go. Derrick Henry, he's been outspoken a little bit about the running back position being undervalued. He's spoken out about feeling as if this running back position is kind of going away, like in the way that it's been. But Titans have always been this run first offense with him in it. Our quarterback position not particularly strong right now. With Tannehill is coming back, but he's getting up there in age a little bit. If anything happens to him health-wise, backup is just like toss-up. Who knows? We have Will Levis just fresh out the SEC, and we have Malik Willis, who just we talked about it last week, one of the worst performances in NFL history. And so, I mean, I think that Derrick Henry he's got to prove a point this season. I mean, I would just be shocked if he doesn't get at least 8 games with 100+ yards.
I definitely like this bet too. I think with Tannehill coming back, as long as he can stay healthy, he gives you guys the best chance for teams not to be able to just focus on Derrick Henry because Ryan Tannehill he catches a lot of flack, but he is a solid NFL starting quarterback. And then your offensive line was pretty bad last year for the Titans. They did make some like free agent acquisitions to improve that. They drafted Peter Skronsky out of Northwestern. He's going to be your starting left guard, and he's going to be great. He's going to start there for 10 years and be awesome. So there's definitely some improvement on the offensive line. And like you talked about, the AFC South is if it's not the worst division, then the NFC South is the worst division. And guess what? The AFC South plays, we play across. That's our cross conference opponent this year. So I think Derrick Henry is going to have plenty of opportunities to run for 100 yards at least 8 times this year.
Let's get it. Plus money.
Good pick.
Plus money. You know what? I do appreciate that about you, Zach. You are always, it's plus money hunting season.
Looking for a profit, baby. You know, we're trying to hit big here. Futures.
Mason's always his are probably all going to hit because they're a little bit safer, and that's good too. But sometimes, you know, that plus 1,200 is it's calling your name. The plus monies, that it's like an oasis in the middle of the desert. You just got to go. You got to get after it.
I like to bet small amounts with big plus money, you know, because it's the big wins. You're not going to lose big, but you have a potential to win big.
It's the get rich quick schemes, baby.
Let's get it. Well, that's going to be it for this week on the Next Guy Up podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. We have another show coming up on Monday. We have a Messing Around Monday pod that's been really fun so far. We get to talk about less sports related stuff and more just everything else kind of stuff. So be on the lookout there. Social media has been super active. We've been on Instagram. We've been on Twitter. We've been on Facebook. We have been posting some polls and some things with some of our drafts. We're going to post some of these Would You Rathers there. If while we were talking about something, you were inspired and you were like, man, I want to weigh in on that, be checking our socials because you have a chance to get there and let your opinions be known. If you have any fun Would You Rathers, throw them there too. Maybe we'll talk about them next week on the pod. Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you're listening to us. And we hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.